we gotta go. I'll get my car. What mine? Yours. I gotta get me one of those.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Bat Dan's Discussions. And boy, do we have a show today. So much has happened since the last live stream with Kozy, and for tonight, we're going to bring him back because we have a lot to update since our last stream. Some not great news, but was expected. And some stuff that, well, we'll see. We'll see. But please welcome as I bring on Kozy. How are you, man?
What's up, man? What's up? What's up, everybody? Oh, I'm glad to be back.
Glad to have you back. Oh, yeah, we have so much to talk about. And honestly, I just kind of want to get right to it right now because there's a lot to go over. So, first things first, Zack Snyder Instagram post. So, let me just share my screen real quick. So, here we go. Instagram. So, here we are. Another photo of the last photograph. Directing and operating the camera brings a kind of intimacy. You're right there in it with the actors.
Give me 1 second, Matt. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Oh my God, though. That looks so good. Deep in the moment while filming the last photograph. I mean, that right there is art. And yes, Rebel Moon Theory, I can't either. I can't wait for the last photograph. But like, Kozy, just look at that. Doesn't that look so, like, that set looks so amazing? And what up, Mama Bear?
Yo. Like, I'm so excited just because of the different places he's shooting at, and just like the photography alone of them shooting just gets me excited, just because like I already know this is about to be a special movie. So like I'm so excited.
Oh, and look, Stuart Martin even commented.
He been commenting a lot under the last photograph photo, so been peeping that. Him and Fought Free.
And also another big news. So Zack Snyder's Justice League hit #1 on Joel. I'm sorry, guys, I'm pronouncing this wrong. Joy Hostar's top 10 movies. #1, right as HBO Max officially launched there. Would you look at that?
Yeah, it proves that Zack. I mean, we all know Zack's popular overseas, but like it proves even further like ZSJL is a like popular and well-loved movie. It's not like it's just some regular degular superhero film. Like they try to make it seem like, oh no, it didn't do well, and it's like, well, if it's not doing well, why is it doing good overseas? Why is it getting the viewership that is getting? Like it's
5-year-old movie, even.
Yep.
And
4 hours.
I just want to bring in Mama Bear again to remind us that, we forget that, we're in our little American bubble. We just think of the United States, but we got to remember.
Yep.
This is a global audience. So just a huge accomplishment for Zack Snyder's Justice League, and how could you not do more? And then this couple right here, Henry Cavill and Amy Adams.
Clark and Lois, man.
Which I will say, out of certain actors I've had doubts of returning, I was wondering about Amy Adams. Will she return? But the fact that Zack Snyder keeps posting about her kind of makes me think that she will.
I mean, she's a big Zack defender and a big BVS defender, and so it's no doubt that she would come back. Like she loves working with Zack, and it's like, and you can tell she loves playing Lois. So it's like yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then a nice little photo of New Hampshire.
I've been liking his Polaroid pictures. His Polaroid pictures is like fire, like showing off his cinematography skills, his photography skills. Like I like this. Like,
and Princess Issa agrees.
Oh yeah. Oh.
It's it just shows you why Zack's such a good visual director too. It's like, look at these photos; they look so amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
And
his coffee mugs, his cups that he's been sculpting.
Yeah, definitely way more of an artist than I am. I'll tell you that.
Hey man.
And the power of the Trinity: Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Myth, strength, truth. So, a small little joke here. I'm surprised she wasn't truth given Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh, bro. That, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I couldn't resist that one.
They
ruined.
Yeah. I do not like that movie.
And I understand we may have some Wonder Woman 1984 defenders in the chat. That's totally okay. But yeah, we didn't really like it. But yep, global phenomenon, Zack Snyder's Justice League. And then another Batman photo. I'm older now than my father ever was. This may be the only thing I do that matters. Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. It's crazy too, because like this is like it's the picture with him with the rain, like under in the rain with the bat signal, and then I would say this is either second or third. Like these, like what I imagine this would be a wide shot if Instagram would allow it, but like, or no, maybe he shot it like this on purpose. But like, I love these long shots, like to get the silhouette and the whole background to like give off the mood. Like, oh man, yeah, the Batman photos from Zack is like my favorite thing.
But I do theorize with this because he does Batman a lot compared to a lot of other heroes. I wonder, is he also hinting the Batflick movie?
Could be. I mean, like he posts, if it's not Henry Cavill, it's a lot of Batman photos. So maybe.
Because I say for perfect story completion of the Snyderverse, I'd say the only thing that's needed outside of ZSJL 2 and 3 is the Batflick movie, just because of that scene with Lex Luthor and Deathstroke setting up the Batflick movie.
Oh yeah, that needs to happen. It's like that, the ultimate tease. You can't just like tease that and not follow through with that, especially that this Batman never got his own solo movie. That's
Mm,
that's
I
that's
know.
a crime. That's a crime in my eyes, man.
I know. I know. I agree, and I don't want to show the video because they're gonna copyright it. But I think Ben Affleck actually recently showed this himself, if I'm not mistaken. But this was Gal's screen test. It was either Gal Gadot or maybe it was Gal Gadot who showed this. Someone else showed this recently, but
I think it was her. Yeah, I think it was her who
yeah, that
posted it.
yeah, okay, that's actually right. Now that I think about it. But this was Gal's screen test, and I knew instantly she was Wonder Woman, shot on film by the incredible what's his name
Larry
again?
Fong. Larry Fong.
Larry
You
Fong.
can't forget Larry Fong, man.
And then we'll talk about this one later, but here is a Paramount. And the boys, not the Amazon series, these boys.
The
Henry
only
Cavill,
hey,
Ray Fisher.
the only boys that matters to me, man. These,
Same
yeah.
here. Ben Affleck, Ezra Miller. Guys, Zack Snyder's still showing Ezra Miller. So if you don't like Ezra Miller, well, too bad. And Jason Momoa. So, just more great photos. More great photos. Lots of DC photos. Seems to be hinting something for, again, I'm just saying, for a guy who's done with DC, he's sure posting his DC stuff a lot.
Oh yeah. Especially posting throwback photos and all that. Oh yeah, like that I think even the whole 2016 post, that whole throwback post, he's still on this.
And I can agree with you, Jamar. I can agree with you. I think they come back through Snyder.
That's the only way. That's literally the only way. They're like, these people aren't gonna continue. Well, I mean, minus Jason Momoa being Lobo, but like, these people aren't like gonna be different roles and move on. Or I would say these people wouldn't come back without Zack. You're not getting a movie or a bunch of whatever films from these people without Zack. So Zack is the key.
What up, Austin?
What's up, Austin?
Exactly. Like, yeah, I mean, Zack may direct the Affleck movie, Ben Affleck may direct it, but Zack's going to be the architect no matter what.
Yeah.
So, but, there's one photo in here that I do want to question. Did Zack confirm the SnyderVerse return with Paramount? Because, I mean, look, right here. I mean, here he is poking around the back lot in Hollywood as we start work on our new project. Zack Snyder, Paramount. It's over, guys. It's over. Paramount's bringing back the SnyderVerse. This is definitive proof right here. There is no doubt in my mind that this for sure means that Zack Snyder is returning to DC with Paramount. This for sure means that. No doubt in my mind, except for the fact that Paramount does not own Warner Brothers yet. They don't own Warner Brothers yet. We'll talk about this. I know this kind of spoils the topic of the title, but there's still some stuff, so they can't be talking about DC right now. Thanks, Austin. And okay, Frank. See, I'm gonna check your DM, and while I do that, while I look at Frank C's DM, give your thoughts on this.
Oh, I just find it hilarious because it'd be people who will tell us when it was Netflix, oh, either it doesn't mean anything or you're like, we're reaching or whatever, but it's not the same when it's the other way around, and they don't want to use the same logic or use their mind of like, hey, Zack is doing Brawler, or now it's changed to Brawlers from recent news that the name's changed, but he's doing Brawlers. Brawlers is being funded by the UFC and the Turkey Alish Sheik guy. UFC is connected to the Paramount because Paramount, isn't it? Paramount owns UFC, so like,
I don't know. It's a license. I guess it's a
what,
license agreement.
regardless,
But
UFC and Paramount have a working relationship with each other. So it's like, I'm not gonna sit here and say, there aren't conversations or there are conversations, but to act like, oh, he's on the Paramount lot. Hey, we're back. We're getting the SnyderVerse. It's like we're jumping too far ahead. We're like, can we all remember he's doing a movie for the UFC? Like, I don't know
yes,
where this big leap
exactly.
is, but it's funny that if it was the other way around, and just say it's Netflix in this situation, we're all just like, oh, Netflix, we're getting a SnyderVerse because he's on the Netflix studio lot or whatever, and he's doing a movie for Netflix that's not SnyderVerse. Then it's like these people come out and be, coming at us. But so it's just to me, it's just crazy that it's this weird, like this weird thing of like, oh, he's on the Paramount lot, so it means it's happening. But like, these people don't want to use the logic that they would use the logic for if it was the other way around. So it's just like it's just funny. I don't know. So, but yeah,
I agree. And like, here's my big thing with when it came to Netflix. For me, it was always pieces of a puzzle. It was never this alone or that alone or that alone or that alone made it. It was pieces of a puzzle together. I will admit, in terms of Paramount bringing back this DC SnyderVerse, this is a good piece of the puzzle.
Yep.
But with Netflix, we had them also promoting the SnyderVerse on their merger website. Here we just have this, and Zack posting DC, but again, we don't necessarily know if that's through Paramount. But yeah, I mean, I think to me this is a good sign. And okay, Austin's clarifying this. Paramount owns the exclusive media rights to the UFC. Media is used for broadcast reasons because they can do a lot and they paid a lot. Okay, yeah, so that makes sense. That's why Paramount's doing the UFC movie. And hey, I'll admit, the UFC movie doing well could lead to Paramount wanting to do the DC SnyderVerse. I'm not going to deny that's a possibility. I will never deny that Paramount doing the SnyderVerse is an impossibility. Okay, and guys, just so people know, I'm not really an expert of like the fighting stuff, so I'm just talking about as much as with related to Snyder. But yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, it doesn't like this isn't bad, but this isn't a guarantee either. I need to see more. That's all I'm saying.
To me, it's just a like, I don't want to say nothing burger, but it's just a okay. Like, cool, he's on the Paramount. That's just my reaction when seeing this was like, all right, cool, he's on the Paramount lot. Because I knew he was doing Brawlers. So it's like, all right, cool. Like, it's not any big news to like, it just lets me know, okay, they're in works and in talks and pre-production for Brawlers. That's it. So it's like, they still got to give me, like, I still say they still got to show me a bigger tangible evidence of, okay, I can start coming in and be like, okay, yeah, the SnyderVerse is happening. But for now, it's like, okay, he's on the lot. This is not new to us. I'm like,
I agree. I totally agree. But you know who it might. Oh, I have to hit this. Okay, hold on a second. You know who did do something recently, though? Look at Netflix, the Netflix France account specifically. Happy birthday, Henry Cavill. You got Geralt of the Witcher, which is a Netflix owned show, but you got Henry Cavill Superman in Black Adam. Now, that's very interesting. Why didn't they do Sherlock Holmes? That's a Netflix movie, or Enola Holmes, sorry. Sure, but like, why didn't they do that? Why are they doing Henry Cavill Superman if there's no hope of this happening?
And why would Netflix post him as Superman? Like it goes to your point of like, why didn't they post him as Sherlock Holmes from Enola Holmes? But like, why did they post him as Superman?
Yes, exactly.
Or they could have just left him as Gerald and that's it. But they chose to get a picture of him as Superman and put it next to Gerald. So it's like what that's it goes back to what I was saying. Like this gives me more of an excitement than Paramount, because it's like, okay, he like this is more evidence. This adds on to the other evidence of the whole merger ad from the big poster post and the video portion. So it's like, okay, Netflix is still showing me they want it still. Paramount has not shown me they want this.
Exactly. And, people are like questioning, why did they use the Black Adam photo? Why not Man of Steel? Why not Zack Snyder's Justice League? Now, granted, I'm not in France. I don't know what is currently on Netflix in France right now. But if I had to guess, and I'm making a guess, and if someone from France is watching and wants to correct me in the chat or comment section, please do so. But I would guess that this is the movie they have on their platform right now. And my guess is, legally speaking, Netflix can't show Zack Snyder's Justice League or Man of Steel or Batman v Superman if it's not on their platform. They can probably only promote the movies that are on their platform.
I would even add on, this was the last role we've seen Cavill in as Superman.
Yeah. Yes, this is the last time we saw him.
I'm not saying I prefer this picture, but this was the last time we seen him as Superman. So like it would make sense to what Batman said from a legal aspect of it, and from a hey, this is the most recent, as the good Austin saying, the most recent appearance of Henry Cavill as Superman. So it's like boom, like
yes, exactly. Exactly. So I would say this is why that, me personally, I'm going to continue engaging with Netflix, because Netflix has shown signs, Paramount has not. Yes, it's great that Paramount is doing the UFC movie with Zack Snyder, but yeah, that is definitely a thing that happened. But at the end of the day, though, Netflix is showing interest, Paramount is not. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Actions speak louder than words. Netflix fans didn't have to do this. I mean, heck, Warner Brothers didn't acknowledge Henry Cavill's birthday. Paramount didn't acknowledge Henry Cavill's birthday. Like, why didn't Warner Brothers do it? The one on the left is their IP. It's their IP.
You know who Warner Brothers did acknowledge their birthday for?
Let me guess. Oh, yeah.
George Clooney. And then I'm not saying don't say happy birthday to George Clooney, but like we have the biggest generational Superman or actor to play Superman, and to bring you in money and all this like love and all that, and you don't use them, but you're gonna skip over to George Clooney though, instead of just doing both. It's still showing signs. Nobody on that side rocks with Cavill and the SnyderVerse, but Netflix is like, hey, we happy birthday, Cavill. Here's you as Superman and Gerald, and then hey, we want the SnyderVerse. Hey, we're gonna throw an event to celebrate Zack and have fans watch his film in a IMAX theater. Like it's all like I said on Sky Stream. If you're still asking questions and still doubting, you probably need to go do something else, because it's literally all right there. Now, could things change? Oh yeah, things could change, and I'm all for being okay being wrong, but I need to be proven that I'm wrong though.
Yeah, same here. I mean, again, if Paramount does the SnyderVerse, does ZSJL 2 and 3, the Batfleck movie, Henry Cavill, the cast comes back, I will celebrate. I absolutely will celebrate. But it's what I think is going to happen right now, not what I want to happen right now. Mm-hmm. So, So yeah, at the end of the day, I do think that Zack working with Paramount is a good sign, is a good step forward. I will not deny that. I will not take that away. But I still need to see more because we had more with Netflix. And what up, Sin Havoc? Like, that's my big thing. We had a lot more hope with Netflix. So to see all these people cheering for Paramount now, cheering that this happened. I'm not talking about people who are just trying to engage with Paramount because that's the result right now. I'm talking about people who actually wanted Paramount. That's my issue. Like, I see it happening with Netflix. I don't see it happening with Paramount. So again, we just have to hope for the best. But before we completely wrap this up, I got people who pointed out things to me during the stream. So I just want to acknowledge this. Okay, Austin pointed out the logo behind the boys. Yep, it's Warner Brothers.
Yep.
Zack Snyder acknowledging, because again, no matter what happens, Zack will have to work with Warner Brothers in some shape or form. And now I want to show this video that Frank C sent me. So, because we were talking about Amy Adams, so hold on a second. Share this tab instead. And oh, here we go. Let me turn on the volume.
Did you hear? How did you find out?
I mean, I think I heard from my husband, actually. Yeah. I'm thrilled for him. He's such a wonderful Superman, so I'm very excited for him.
Is Lois coming back?
They haven't spoken to me about it. So,
Or do you want Lois to come?
I mean, if it's me, great. If it's somebody else, the role of Lois has been filled by so many wonderful actresses in the past, so I'll support whatever direction they go.
Thank you. Henry?
She wants to go back. She knows she wants to go back. She's just the PR answer, she said she wants to.
Yeah. Of course she wants to. I mean, again, she has to be a good sport right now. She doesn't want to seem overly eager because that kills negotiation power. But yeah, Sin Havoc, I'm hoping for the earliest possible thing because I want the SnyderVerse. You know me and patience, Sin Havoc. You know me and patience. So, but but now let's and what up the Curly Ray? But now here's what we're talking about. It happened. The WB shareholders, enough for a majority vote, said yes to Paramount, but no to Zaslav. I'm glad that Zaslav got his pay increase denied. I know he's still going to get a good compensation, but
yeah,
Zaslav screwed up so much. I'm sorry, that dude does not deserve.
But that's his job, though. He was hired to come in and do all this, so it's. I agree with you. I hate that he messed all this up, but they hired him to do this. Yeah,
I know. But still, it still sucks. But I'm glad that he's getting some karma, at least as much as possible. But the big thing, shareholders voted yes to Paramount. We talked about this last time. Here's the thing. I didn't really think that the shareholders are going to vote no. I voted no, but I didn't think the vast majority of shareholders are going to vote no to this because to the shareholders there was no disadvantage. It was a cash bid. Whatever happens to this new company after, who cares? They got their pay. Why do they they don't? No, the major shareholders who are making a lot of money, they don't care. They don't have a reason to care. But yeah, so I was hoping this wouldn't happen, but
oh yeah, he got paid. He came in and did what he did. He got paid. So yeah.
Yeah, I know, but just sometimes you have to think of the principle. But yeah, but still though. With Paramount, I as much as I hoped that this wasn't going to happen, I didn't expect the shareholders were going to reject this. They didn't have a reason to. The people who are actually concerned are not the major shareholders. So this wasn't a surprise. I didn't expect this to fail. So put it like this: there are hurdles that that I could see blocking this merger from happening. This was not one of those things I expected to be a thing.
Yeah, it was a hope. Like you said, there was a hope, but I had a feeling that it would be most likely voting yes than no. But I was
What up,
hoping
Smackadon?
somebody would have been like, "What's up, Smacky? What's up, man? Hold on, let me shout out everybody. What's up, Jamar, Sin, DC Talk, Mama Bear Integrity. Yeah. That's all I can. Yeah, but yeah, man. Like, it was a hope. It was a hope. I don't know. I was hoping for it, but like it. Yeah, I'm not surprised they all voted, or I don't say all, but majority vote was yes. So
it was like 82%, I think, voted yes. So
yeah. So it's.
I mean, if I were rich, I would have bought a bunch of Warner Brothers share just so that I could more than the 7 that I own. And oh yeah, just to clarify for the sake of disclosure, I own one publicly traded share of Netflix, and just for the sake of being objective in that regard, I bought a share of Paramount, Class B, publicly traded. So now I own shares in both companies. I think technically I have to buy more shares of Paramount, so it's even. Again, guys, I'm not an expert in this stuff, but I just want to disclose that so that people know where my financial stake in this, as in it's not much. It's not much at all. But just for the sake of being honest. But yeah, I didn't expect this to be the big thing. I don't think we'll talk about some of the stuff that, we think will be the big thing. But yeah, I'm just saying, people are like, oh my God, the shareholders voted yes. It's over. Paramount won. This is it. Paramount's going to get Warner Brothers. I mean,
it's not over until they sign the dotted line. It's not over. Like it's still, they have to sign whatever they need to sign for it to be like they own it. So
yeah, and they still have a lot of hurdles to get through. And right now, so this just came up today. So
oh
yeah, my compensation, I didn't do the math. It's like I own 7 shares, $31. It's like $210 maybe, plus tax will take some of that out, I'm pretty sure. So cool. But and again, it's not like this was $200 in profit. This was, I don't remember when I bought all this stock, honestly. So I might have still lost money on it. I don't know. But just, again, for the sake of being honest. But anyways, WBD sees a loss. So, and it was funny, this wasn't even going to be on the list today. I had it all planned yesterday. And then, I see this on Twitter. I get Kozy messaging me. And that's the way this works sometimes. Is, things happen last minute. So let's cover this. So WBD sees $2.9 billion Q1 loss on M&A charges, including termination fee Paramount paid Netflix. So Warner Brothers Discovery posted a whopping $200 billion first quarter loss that will likely be a one-time accounting blip. It hopes, since it includes the $2.8 billion termination fee, that Paramount paid Netflix to swap places on the merger board. WB said the amount is refundable to Paramount in certain circumstances, such as the termination of the Paramount merger agreement by WBD for a superior proposal, or violation of interim operating convents resulting in an obligation for WBD. So according to Paramount CEO David Ellison earlier this week, however, the Paramount deal is back on track and on track to close third quarter. Yeah, sure. Okay. Okay. But ultimately, he persisted, ultimately offering 31 shares in cash, and we all know the story. But yeah, I'm not going to lie. I think in the grand scheme of things, I don't think that this, how this plays out after is going to matter a lot more than this. If you already have reservations about this merger, yes, this doesn't look good. But yeah, no problem, Mama Bear. But yeah, I'm sure it's not. $3
billion.
Okay. Okay,
God
SynHavoc.
damn, per month.
I mean, if that's the case, then damn. But I mean, based on what is currently out there right now, I think what happens after this month will matter more because I even said earlier when Netflix was getting Warner Brothers that Netflix losing stock to buy Warner Brothers. Okay, that's a short-term dip for a long-term goal. If Paramount succeeds and this is a long-term profit for both companies, then honestly, that $2.9 billion doesn't even matter. But if it's what SynHavoc is saying, then and they're losing money, not good, guys. Not good. I know they say you have to spend money to make money, but that only works if you actually make money. If you spend money to make
do it
less,
it's more like spend smartly to make the money that you want. And it's like I think because of how desperate they were to get this, and like I don't know, them Paramount not focusing on getting whatever debt they were already in out to even take on WB's debt. I think that's where they fucked up also. And it's just like I think it was just more greed and okay, this is WB. We want some stuff in here that's gonna help us out in the long term, but they're not. Like it's not. I think the greed blinded them blinding them from their logic of like, hey, we should probably focus on fixing Paramount before we just spend all this money on another studio.
Yeah. It's basically, this is the term that Paramount, I think, got with WB. A Pyrrhic victory. It's a victory that basically comes at a high cost, that the victory is not even worth it. And that's what Paramount got with Warner Brothers. I hope I'm pronouncing this right, but a Pyrrhic victory. So, all this debt that they're getting, not good. No, I predict that's going to happen. And maybe Netflix can collect on some of those assets. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's interesting. But, again, I don't think this alone, what the article is saying, it means that this merger is bad. But I also think it's how I talk about puzzle pieces. I do think that this, with the other aspects that we're going to talk about, this is not good. So, yeah, we'll see. I hope it does. I hope, as long as, Netflix gets the parts that, we care about. Again, assuming that certain, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that actually. But so now, I don't think they have an official name for this new company. So I've heard Para Brothers, WarnerMount. So we're just going to say WarnerMount for this. But WarnerMount going to be Middle Eastern owned. And I know what SynHavoc is going to say. Get ready to learn Arabic. Yep, SynHavoc. I know. But
I hate that quote, bro. I do not like that quote. So it's so annoying.
I know, but Paramount Warner Brothers Discovery will be 38.5 owned by Middle Eastern funds following filling. So Paramount Skydance said the merged Paramount Warner Brothers Discovery will be 49.5 owned by foreign investors, with about 38.5 of the equity in the new company held by a trio of Middle Eastern funds. So in a filing Monday with the FCC, Paramount said Saudi Arabia's public investment fund will have a 15.1% equity stake. The United Arabs, Emirates. So now they're not saying Abu Dhabi. Now they're actually saying the full country. Reference to the last stream. Will own 12.8% equity, and Qatar. And guys, if I pronounce some of the stuff wrong, I'm sorry. Investment Authority will own 10.6% equity. Paramount previously said foreign investors backing its WB takeover will not have board seats or voting shares. Okay, sure. According to Paramount's filing, the Ellison family, David Ellison and his father, along with Red Bird Capital Partners, will continue to hold the largest equity stake in Paramount, Skydance, Warner Brothers, Discovery and will continue to have control over shares with 100% voting power. So, yeah, okay.
Cap. That's
Sure.
cap. Oh shit! My camera. But that's cap because it's like that's 49.5%. That's damn near 50%. That's half.
Mm-hmm.
So you expect us to believe they're gonna get 50%, almost 50%, or we're gonna round it 50%, and we're expected to not believe they're not gonna have some type of voting power and get stocks and all this and assets off it? Like, no, like you can play, you can trick other people. You ain't gonna trick me. What?
Yeah, you're going to totally invest all this money. I mean, now technically, none of these individual entities themselves own 49.5, just the combination. But still, though, that's still each a decent share, enough to definitely have a say. And I mean, how do I say this without? I'm not the biggest fan of a major American media company having this much percent foreign ownership. I'm not going to lie, I'm not the biggest fan of that. I don't really, likewise, I wouldn't want the United States owning a big foreign media company. I wouldn't want that, but I mean, yeah, I agree with Sin Havoc. I mean, here's the thing. Like, you put just under 50% so you can be like, okay, no, guys, the United States will have control. The United States will have full control over this company to get people to calm down. But then slowly, you say, oh, well, actually, now it's a little bit more. No. Now they own 51, like together they own 51%, but David Elliston, still owns the largest share among them, among all the entities. So, it's still control. It's still control. I mean, it's like,
like, call me whatever, bro, but like, I'm not a fan of it's an American company with American media. Like, why are we allowing another country taking over 60% of an American media company? That, like,
49.5 is the official number right now.
Oh yeah,
I love you, Sin Havoc, but unfortunately, because I don't know who you are, I can't take your stuff as absolute fact on this channel. But we can still open up the possibilities. So, but I mean, this is what I'm saying. Like, I've said it before and I'll say it again. My concern with this merger, to be honest, the SnyderVerse is kind of the bottom of my concerns. I'm concerned about it. Make no mistake. I definitely want the SnyderVerse. But even if we get all the SnyderVerse, I'm concerned about this. It goes back to Pyrrhic victory. Okay, let's say that the Saudi Arabias will have a say and will say, you are bringing back Zack because our money says so, because we own the company, and of course we actually have a say in this. I don't know how these people thought that we wouldn't. But anyways, even if you're going to bring back Zack, we're going to do Man of Steel 2, Man of Steel 3, the Batfleck movie, Zack Snyder's Justice League 2, Zack Snyder's Justice League 3, and you're going to release the Ayer cut. All this is going to happen, all with the cast that Zack wants back. And that could happen.
With what money? Because you gotta pay Zack, pay the actors. So would some of them take a pay cut? I guess, but you gotta pay for these movies, pay the VFX, and they still got other movies that they have planned to put out and make. On top of, you gotta fulfill 30 movies a year.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't like, yeah.
But my thing though is, even if, let's say, they successfully do all that, and we get these great movies, it doesn't feel compromised at all. With the SnyderVerse, you still have a foreign entity owning two major movie studios in the world, big news companies, and like, this is why I'm not celebrating. And I mean,
That's why I said on Sky Stream, you get all the stuff you want of Zack in DC. You get all of that. Afterwards, then what? You're just gonna buy your DVDs and all that, own it and all that, and be happy. And then what? You still gotta go see other movies. You still gotta like go to the movie theaters and watch other stuff. So you're okay after you get everything you want. And turn around and be like, I got what I want, so I don't really care what happens after that. That's selfish.
Here's the thing, like in terms of DC, I was a DC fan before I was a Zack Snyder fan. I want DC to be successful after Zack Snyder's done. I want to, like after Zack Snyder's done and the Snyderverse is done, I want a new successful DC universe. I want that.
Mm-hmm.
I want other movies, other IP to be owned. I mean, I'm a big South Park fan. How do you think that's going to go with Saudi Arabia? I mean, these foreign entities like having control over South Park. I don't want that. Like, I had a lot bigger concerns with this going through than the Snyderverse, and this is one of them. This is, I think, probably my biggest concern right here. I do absolutely think it's possible that Saudi Arabia will have a say. In fact, here's where I think this is where I think Saudi Arabia will have a say in the Snyderverse. I was going to say this when I did Bat Dance Thoughts, but I already talked about this on Sky Stream yesterday, and I don't know when I'm going to do that episode. So Saudi Arabia is an investor. They want to see a return on their investment. My biggest guess is that they will tell David Ellison, hey, we hear that Netflix is interested in getting the licensing rights to do ZSJL 2 and 3. We need to pay off this debt. We need to pay off our debt, our money that we're giving you. We want to see some action. We think that this is a good idea. You do that. That's where I think that's the most likely way that I think like Saudi Arabia will have a say in that. But is getting them to license the stuff to Netflix. That's my opinion, but yeah, I think there's a lot of rose-colored glasses people are looking at with this whole thing. But
I didn't realize Paramount reads as pesky. That's crazy.
Oh,
now, yo, Mama Bear, I'm gonna start using that now. Like, oh dang,
where did Mom
those pesky? Oh my god, yo, I didn't even. Yo.
Yeah, how do I find that comment? And I have to look for this comment on YouTube because I want to make that the... Okay, YouTube's being slow right now. I wanted to make that the pinned comment, but okay, it's being slow right now on YouTube. But
no, don't
apologize.
Like I want, like, hey, I want now. I have like a good like comeback now with that. So no, thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. And I just made your comment pinned. So
can you highlight J-Mars? The I don't see David Ellison being the kind of guy to play nice with creatives. Yeah, like this is my other issue. I like David Ellison has an ego, and I don't see him. I see him either getting in a way or doing what WB did and suggest and start having bad starts making bad moves and bad ideas that starts ruining stuff. I'm even, and I'm not saying he's the reason why Transformers is where it is now, but like the fact that Transformers was making them money, and then you get rid of Michael Bay, and then now you're doing, and I like Bumblebee, so like this is not even me hating on Bumblebee. I like Bumblebee, but you go from Bumblebee and then you go to the Rise of the Beast, and then that Transformers 1 movie, and how they didn't really market that Transformers 1 movie that well. Like, I'm just sitting here like, I know Zack can carry with marketing and all that, but like, I don't trust David Ellison and Paramount to do it justice in marketing and in not getting in the way and meddling with Zack and his creative process. So yeah.
And that's why I'd say I think the best hope is that Netflix gets the licensing rights, is that Saudi Arabia orders that, because I think that's the best thing I think we'll get with Saudi Arabia getting the SnyderVerse, is that. Which, I mean, hey, if that happens, I mean, great. Then it's under Netflix's control, so I would say that's a good thing, but still, though. But still, regardless, even if that happens, this concerns me. This concerns me for many reasons, okay?
Yeah.
And, it's funny, I don't even really like talking about this stuff on this channel, but unfortunately, when the politics and the movie stuff overlaps, it's kind of hard to dance around it completely. So, unfortunately, I had to somewhat talk about some of this stuff, but yeah, I have a lot of concerns with this, guys. I have, Kozy and I have a lot of concerns with this, even if...
TJ, highlight TJ's his quote or his message. This right here, thank you. The Last Ronin, we went from, could have had a rated R mature Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film to an animated kid friendly film, and if people want to like shrug and ignore that, the Avatar film was supposed to drop in theaters. They said, nah, we're gonna do it on Paramount Plus, and then somebody somehow sent the movie to somebody that doesn't work at the company, and that person leaked it. These are the people you want to trust. We already dealt with a leak. We already dealt with HBO or with WB leaking on HBO Max.
Tom and Jerry.
On Tom and Jerry. So it's like, look, it'd be cool. Like, don't get me wrong. It'd be like, if you're thinking from a fan, like, oh, I get to watch it early, but is that really how you want the Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3 to come out? Accidentally leak or on another streaming service instead of in theaters?
Yeah, I don't want that. So yeah. I mean, again, even if we get the SnyderVerse, this is still a concern. So, I'm just saying, if this is true, though, no. And, hey, we're not the only ones concerned. Because the FCC, see, this is what people need to remember. Hurdles is that Paramount has hurdles to get through. The FCC has to approve this funding. Okay? They can't just do it because they snap their finger, because Paramount snaps their fingers. There's processes that we have to go through. So, and this is dated yesterday. So, FCC commissioner calls for rigorous review of foreign ownership investment in Paramount's proposed acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery. And here, just to remind people, proposed acquisition, as in not done yet. But, so, the sole Democrat on the FCC is calling on the agency to investigate and examine foreign investment in Paramount's proposed merger with Warner Brothers. Paramount has disclosed that the total ownership of the combined company, we've read this, would be 49.5 with 38.5 from, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi. So Paramount has petitioned the FCC to sign off on foreign investments, as any foreign ownership above 25% requires commission approval. Gomez, and guys, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing stuff wrong. I am Gomez.
Yeah,
okay.
Gomez, yeah.
Oh, right. Like as in Steve Gomez from Breaking Bad. But anyways, Gomez said in a statement, the American public deserves to know who owns airwaves that carry their news. I am alarmed by what appears to be an effort to rubber stamp a financial structure that places nearly half of one of America's large broadcast and media companies, I would say two, given the fact of this merger. But anyways, into the hands of foreign governments with documented records of press suppression and a troubling willingness to silence journalists. So
thank you, Gomez. Thank you, Gomez. Somebody over there actually has like concerns. Like,
yeah, and see,
no, go ahead. I was just, yeah.
That's the thing. And again, regardless of where you stand about this senator's political views or not, the fact of the matter is these people still have to approve this stuff, guys. Okay. This stuff has to get approved. And the fact is they're calling for a review of this. So
no, you're right, Sen.
Yeah,
this is what they asked for. This is what all that hating on Netflix and thinking they're gonna ruin theaters and they just want to put all their stuff on their platform and want everybody to stay at home because of those lies and narratives. This is what they asked for. This is what they thought was the better option. So no, you're right. You're definitely right, Sen. Like it frustrates me.
Mama Bear, I actually never saw The Addams Family.
You didn't see The Addams Family? Oh, you gotta watch the Addams Family, yeah.
But yeah, the fact is there's government entity approving this, because if the government entity does not approve this funding, Paramount doesn't have the funding to buy Warner Brothers. I mean, yes, this doesn't directly block the deal itself, but if you don't have a major avenue of the deal, oh my God, people, I'm sorry, guys. I haven't seen The Addams Family.
I'm over here listening to that, Dan. I just look over and see everyone like, what?
But here's an analogy I want to... Anyway, getting us back on topic. Kozy, have you ever seen the animated series Star Wars Rebels?
I've seen some of it. I haven't finished all of it, but yeah.
How mad would you be if I gave you a spoiler?
I wouldn't be mad. I gotta do a rewatch anyways, but yeah.
But basically, so the main bad guy of seasons 3 and 4, Grand Admiral Thrawn, had this big project that he impressed the Emperor with. These TIE defenders, I think it was like they would all have like shields. I think it was shields, basically, is what it was. But it was like this big TIE defender project that he had. The Emperor approved it. But then the governor of Lothal, who was working for Thrawn, Price, killed Kanan Jarrus, but destroyed the fuel supply while doing so. That fuel supply was detrimental to Thrawn's project. And because the fuel supply was destroyed, Thrawn didn't get his little TIE Defender project, so they went with the Death Star. And we all know what happened after that. But my whole point with that is that if you don't have this funding, that fuel supply that Ellison needs to acquire the TIE Defender project of Warner Brothers Discovery doesn't happen. So, also Justice for Fives. If I talk about Star Wars, I have to say Justice for Fives at least once. But anyways.
Oh yeah, Justice for Fives. Oh yeah, yeah.
You don't understand that reference though?
I know.
Okay, good. Good. But yeah, I'm just saying, if this gets blocked, Paramount cannot buy Warner Brothers, and if they cannot buy Warner Brothers, I mean, the shareholders didn't vote. They voted yes, specifically for $31 a share. If they cannot secure that funding, they have to come up with other avenues. Maybe selling off assets to Netflix to make Warner Brothers Discovery cheaper. Sell Warner Brothers Pictures specifically, sell HBO, sell DC, sell whichever part of the company owns Looney Tunes. Like, basically sell anything that was a streaming and studio assets, sell that off to Netflix because they can afford it. And then David Ellison can acquire the rest of Warner Brothers Discovery without taking these foreign entities. So
this is kind of what I didn't want to happen, which is have this whole WBD broken into a lot of parts instead of just being like, hey, cable network and then studio and streaming. It was Warner Brothers Studio and streaming, and then Discovery Global Partners, who would have like CNN, the cable networks, Discovery. Yeah, that's what I like. And I think a majority of us wanted, but it's like now it's the worst part that I've didn't want, which is like, all right, now we're gonna break everything down to the smallest thing and sell that off and see if we can make get out of his debt or whatever, or put a dent in his debt. And it's just like, man, like.
But I mean, hey, if they sell it off the way that the split was planned, then that's basically what I think could happen. And so,
Yeah.
I mean, then they don't need they don't have to get all this foreign investment, and the FCC won't have a problem with that, because as long as and from my understanding, if the foreign entity if the foreign ownership is under 25%, the FCC would stay out of this. I'm pretty sure they're not the ones who would. But again, I mean, this isn't a political channel, unfortunately, though we have to kind of talk about it a little bit, but I'm not an expert in this, okay? But so if I get something wrong, sorry. I admit that. But I'm just saying there's a lot of stuff that you guys need to consider. And I'm also saying that if this happens, if the FCC says no and they have to find another way to pay off to get Warner Brothers Discovery, that's what I think will happen. The only way I think they get any part of the company is if they sell off assets. And Netflix. Well, we'll get into Netflix a little later on, but it's not just the FCC. Paramount's being sued by its own subscribers.
Yo, when this news broke, it blew my mind. I'm like, oh snap! Like, I didn't expect the customers to be like, yo, what is this? Nah, I don't. You know how bad you got to be messing up for your own subscribers to sue you? Yeah.
Paramount faces suit from streaming subscribers seeking to block deal for Warner Brothers. And, a handful of streaming subscribers filed a lawsuit seeking to block the $110 billion merger of Paramount, Skydance, and Warner Brothers. The plaintiff, 3 current Paramount Plus subscribers and 2 prospective subscribers, allege they face increased prices and reduced viewing options as a result of this transaction. Oh. Paramount, of course, they expect to close the deal, but yada, yada, yada. But the lawsuit was brought by 2 Bay Area law firms in federal court in San Jose, California. The suit only seeks an injunction blocking the Warner Brothers deal, but also... the suit not only seeks an injunction blocking the Warner Brothers deal, but also seeks to force Skydance to divest itself of Paramount, which it acquired last year. It also seeks triple damages under provision of the Clayton Act that allows private parties to sue if they are harmed by anti-competitive merger. So,
okay.
So, this is another thing right here, though, is that there's more people fighting this. There's more people against this. This is, we already talked about the actors' lawsuits. You got the FCC concern, and now Paramount's own subscribers, like, the paying customers are upset now. And here's my big thing with this. Sure, maybe Paramount could win this lawsuit. Absolutely, they could win this lawsuit. But that costs money. Once you get in a lawsuit, you have to pay more money to get the lawyers to say, hey, no, this is fair for this reason, yada, yada, yada. So they could get another Pyrrhic victory where, okay, they win the lawsuit, but now they spent even more money, and
it's just money just being burned, man. Just And but okay, the second part of that, I don't think because they're asking them to divest Skydance from Paramount, and it's like, you can't do that. That's already a done thing. But the first, oh yeah, but it's just like the more realistic option is the blocking it, and it's like. The fact that customers, like, they're getting harmed themselves from this whole deal. It's not a lot they're putting on their platform. I don't use Paramount, but from what it's saying, not a lot they're putting on their platform. And maybe if somebody showed up to the hearing and just
That might
Yeah.
require another hearing. That
Two
David Ellison
chances.
just saying, if David Ellison has to testify under oath. But yeah, I mean, I actually do have Paramount Plus this month because this is the month where I just kind of binge watch some shows that I want to see. But I already unsubscribed. Like I basically subscribed and then unsubscribed just to make sure that I have that once the month is up, that I don't have it anymore. But yeah, that's the thing too. But here's the thing. I kind of like that you said that, okay, it's not realistic to divest yourself, Paramount, from Skydance. Think of when you sue, sometimes with any negotiation, you have to ask for more than what you actually want. You don't want to ask for just the bare minimum. No. You want to ask for the absolute best case scenario. Because you're more likely to put like this. I feel like if you sue for both things, you're more likely to block the Paramount Warner Brothers merger than if you just sue specifically for that merger.
Yeah. True.
So I think that's the advantage of suing for that too. Because, and again, that's another lawsuit. That's more money that Paramount has to pay. Because even if it's not a realistic option, they still have to pay money for that, to block that. So, well, thanks for stopping by, Mama Bear. Hope you see the rest on replay.
See you, Mama Bear. Yeah, they're spending a lot. Like that's why, like, they're gotta spend money on that. Then they gotta spend money on the like the amount of them waiting to get this like a done deal, and that's like fees from what Sin was saying, 30 billion. Like you're shelling out money, plus you supposedly have films lined up that you have done. You have films that are done, but you have films that are filming or about to film, and you got to fulfill 30 movies, like 30 movies a year. You're like, this is why they're in debt. This right here is why they're in debt. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. And again, it makes it that much harder because, again, if you can't afford to pay the merger, then you can't get it. Again, they have to pay the money still. And if you're spending all this money on lawsuits, I mean, the worst case scenario, I would say too, you either have to pay for more lawsuits or you have to give more foreign entity ownership away. You have to give more of the company away to foreign entities. And I don't know if David Ellison's ego will allow too much more foreign ownership of Paramount, too much to afford this. So I would say no. Here's the thing. No matter what the outcome of this is, because the other option too is that they succeed and they get this deal blocked. I mean, that's also the other possibility. But to me, that's just the one that people think about first. I really wanted to discuss this other one because I feel like a lot of people are only looking at things on the surface. They don't look at the knee deep stuff. Like, you got to look knee deep into this stuff, not just what you see on the surface. You got to look what's into this. It's again, so I talk about puzzle pieces. You got this. You got the FCC against the ownership. You got the actors protesting. You got David Ellison not showing up to the hearing, not missing his chance to testify under oath.
Yeah, it adds up. Like, all this adds up. Like, just like imagine just putting a bunch of papers on a table and it's just stacking up. Like, that's what I've been saying. I don't know how they're gonna promise 30 movies a year when no other studio is putting out 30 movies a year, and they can't even commit to the 15 that they promised.
Yeah, if they put 15 movies out, I would say, yeah, good. Now with a whole nother studio that's twice as much, they can do it. But you got to do 15. You got to at least do 15. I want to see actions, not words. I don't want to see false promises, people. I want to see the actual stuff happen. And I mean, yes, they would have to pay, TJ, but it may not be as much. Like, it still may be saving money than having to pay this whole merger with all these lawsuits. Like, I'm sure it's not, they're not paying the same amount than if it doesn't go through. So,
but even if it like it fails and they have to pay WB, Netflix comes in and buys WB. Now it's like it. Not saying Netflix is the one that's going to pay the like that part, but they would be getting that money.
I think Paramount would pay. Like, Paramount would have to pay because they're the ones who screwed. Like, they're the ones who blocked it. I think whoever is the one who breaks the deal is the one who has to pay the fine. Like, if let's say Warner Brothers backed out and went to Netflix, I think they would probably owe Paramount money. But I think if Paramount can't afford to pay, they owe Warner Brothers money. So I'm just saying that this is just another entity of being sued. So, I mean, I'm just saying, David Ellison, hey, we kind of made fun of David Ellison for not showing up to court. I mean, me a little more carefully because I didn't want to deny that it was possible that that tragedy could be true. But anyways, regardless, though, he's going to have other chances, it looks like. I mean, surely these lawsuits, he's going to have to show up to oath at some point. I mean, you can't always have, you can't always have some tragedy happen the day, it's like, again, when a student because, like, I mean, let's be honest here. If a student uses, like, a dead relative as an excuse to get out of a homework assignment, if they do it one time, the teacher's going to say, yeah, okay, sure, absolutely. Assuming the teacher's a good person. But if, like, a student comes with, like, their third grandma to die, then, that's going to be looked at a little more funny. So that's what I'm saying with David Ellison. Look, you had your one tragedy. Me personally, I was a little careful, but if you keep having tragedies on the day of these hearings of all these lawsuits, we're going to look at you a little funny, okay? And even I'm not going to be talking with kid gloves anymore. So.
Yeah.
So, yep. And
yo, the fact that Paramount isn't global, that like, like, you're not even global, and that's sad, man.
But, here's another piece of the puzzle I want to talk about. Netflix trying to block the deal. So, a big reason why the stream was delayed is that I really wanted to release the clip that we talked about last time about Ted Sarandos' comments at CinemaCon about Netflix trying to block the deal. So, or about his reflection on Netflix. And I feel like this little rumor, and I'm saying rumor, we'll see how true it is, but still proves our point. Netflix reportedly quietly interfering with Warner Brothers Paramount merger. A new report from Puck News suggests that the streamer is going through back doors to block or slow the mega merger. The merger between Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount Skydance is unpopular for a number of reasons. Jobs will be lost. Competition will be decreased. Paramount has already pushed CBS News to the right and could do the same for CNN. But could all these concerns actually be part of an unturfed campaign by Netflix to block the merger? No, but some at Paramount are growing suspicious that Netflix is at least taking advantage of them for its own ends, according to a report from Puck's Eric Gardner. So, according to Gardner, there is suspicion with Paramount that Netflix might have something to do with the Block the Merger campaign, which has so far passed 4,000 signatures, those in the industry, including famous names like Dennis I am sorry, I can't pronounce these names.
I always mess up his last name. But we know who it is. Yeah.
Cynthia Nixon, Elon Glover, Javier Bardem, Lily Wojcicki. I'm sorry, guys, and Nina
DaCosta.
Okay.
Yeah.
DaCosta. Okay. So, and of course, Netflix denies any involvement, but Gardner writes that he's heard of Netflix shopping for some publicly operatives to help stop or at least delay the deal. So, and of course, if Netflix is involved, I mean, yeah, so presumably Netflix views Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount separately as less of a threat than a single entity. But, it's funny. This kind of goes to what we theorized about last time, though. So again, this is not guaranteed to be true, guys. This is not guaranteed to be true. But honestly, if it is, I'm just saying Paramount literally pestered Warner Brothers like 10 times when Netflix won the bid until Warner Brothers caved in eventually. So I don't want to hear any Netflix, stop trying to interfere with the deal. You lost, deal with it. I'm like, Paramount didn't deal with it and it paid off for them. So don't be a hypocrite. But anyways, so if this is true, this goes back to the exact theory that we had, that Netflix still wants Warner Brothers. Again, they could have increased the bid, or they could just not increase their bid and instead block the merger. And then this way they can go back to their original offer or their last offer, or even less, now that Warner Brothers is more desperate. So it's not true, but to be honest, it wouldn't surprise me. I guess, Kozy, what's your thoughts on this?
I'm not I'm not surprised. Like, you had a good deal, and you're like, Ted Sarandos was on the lot, being shown around, having from what reports were saying that employees and everybody else was liked what Ted Sarandos was saying and all that. And then Paramount, or I should say David Ellison, pestering Zaslav, and then to the point where they already won the bid and was, in my words, just complaining and pestering him to the point where it's like you're desperate for this, and you had Zaslav go, let's just hear him out so we can like shoo him off like an annoying sibling or whatever. And they went with that. So it's just like, yeah, I do the same thing. I go like, okay, you ruined a deal that we actually wanted and we're gonna do really well for. All right, let me instead of doing it loudly like you did, David Ellison, we're gonna do it quietly and do our best to stop this merger or slow it down. And slowing it down I think just makes it to the point where it ends up they can't buy it because money would be shelled out because they're slowing it down. So yeah,
exactly. And this is the exact theory that we talked about last time, is that Netflix decide, let the deal fail, and come in. Because it was an interesting point that Nar brought up on Sky Stream recently, is that again, we don't know if this is true, but what if Skywalker the Jedi, for those of you who don't know, but what if Netflix let this deal happen? Because what's easier, Paramount pestering Warner Brothers constantly and constantly having to shoo them off, or Paramount getting the bid and then being blocked by the government and then not being able to bid anymore? What's easier? What's cheaper? What's less of a headache? It's a gamble, but so far, you got the FCC, you got all these celebrities, you got Paramount subscribers, you got a lot of people against or potentially against this merger. So maybe this is actually paying off.
Like, they're like, I don't want to like make it sound bad when I say this, but you're making Netflix look like the heroes because of and it's not even just what Netflix is doing. It's more so like what Paramount is doing with this deal and how they're trying to get about it and what they plan to do in the future with this. And it's like, you're just like you remember when Netflix was up and people were complaining, but it wasn't as much and as loud as what is going on with this. Like, you have directors against this, let alone your own customers is against this. But when it was Ted Sarandos, people had questions, people had concerns, but Ted Sarandos kept reaffirming, no, this is what we plan to do. It hasn't changed. He hasn't changed a single thing that he said when it came to, we plan to do theatrical. We plan to do the 45-day window. We plan to separate, even though it'll be under the Netflix umbrella, we plan to separate WB Studios from Netflix and, and do it like that and keep it its separate, Warner Brothers Studios, it's separate thing. But you know, people didn't, believe him, and then and didn't like that, and then when it's Paramount's turn, you see it's a whole lot of noise against this. So it's to me, it's pretty ironic and funny that like it flips and how bad it flipped too.
Yeah, well, it's almost. Oh, you're talking about yep.
Oh yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
We
have Superman. But yeah, no, go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, we saw that one. Yeah, we'll just show it real quick, just because it's not really the current topic right now, and I don't want to get too off topic. But or like, hold on, let me just open this image in a new tab. But just to recap for people. But yeah, as you can see, Paramount merger, Superman, corn sweat Superman right here. So just to quickly recap that one, but
and the people who keep using Michael Bay in Transformers, they didn't even put Michael Bay's Optimus Prime on there, so that also tells you a lot too. I don't know if people noticed that one was from Rise of the Beast and not, from any of Michael Bay's Transformers.
And I'm not big on the Transformers reference, but I'm going to trust Kozy that it's not a good sign for Paramount. But I'm just... hold on. Paramount's doing stupid stuff.
What's up, everybody? While we wait for Batman to come back. There's no deal with Michael Bay at all currently. Oh, yeah. I haven't heard anything yet. Oh, you're back.
Yeah, I'm back. StreamYard I don't know, StreamYard being StreamYard. But yeah, I mean, I'm just saying that if this deal is true, it makes a lot of sense because, again, Ted Sarandos seemed like he still would still be interested in Warner Brothers. But it just shows that Netflix always was more strategic about getting Warner Brothers than Paramount was. Ted Sarandos is a much better businessman than David Ellison. They did everything quietly. When WB was up for sale, Netflix was very nonchalant about yeah, we don't really care. But then they won the bid. Mm-hmm. And now that they lost the bid and Paramount has it, they're like, yeah, we can get it. We can. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they changed it to, what was it, 54-day window?
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't see that one, honestly, but yeah, I mean, but if that's the case, good. It shows, I mean, hey, Netflix maybe, again, was not the one to root against, but I'm just saying, like, with Ted Sarandos' comment from CinemaCon, it seemed like he wanted he wanted Warner Brothers, that they would take Warner Brothers if they could get it for a lower price. Well, if this deal doesn't go through and Netflix is working to block the deal, especially because it may not cost Netflix as much money, just rile up some actors who are genuinely concerned. You got a bunch of people together. If Netflix just kind of organizes them and goes, hey, let's protest. Let's protest this, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
And it's smart of Netflix because, again, even if Paramount can win these lawsuits, that's a lot of money. As Sin Havoc says, hemorrhaging money. They have to keep spending money until they can no longer afford the company. So they either have to give up, Dave Ellison either has to give up his creative, his control to these foreign investors, or they have to sell off assets if they want this deal. So, and then it could also just get blocked too. So,
yeah. Even if David gave up his creative, like choices and freedom to foreign investors, that would definitely get blocked.
Oh yeah. Because here's the thing, that's another investigation. Like, even if this FCC investigation approves it, if now more foreign entity comes, that's a new investigation they have to do. That's not.
Yeah.
It's not like he just gets to approve that, and the instant he goes up to like 60% or 70%, it's like, okay, well, we already approved it, so it doesn't matter. No. So I totally believe that. I mean, I do personally believe this. Again, this is rumor. But I personally believe this. And it just goes what we said. Netflix is still interested. They're just being strategic. They're not being desperate about it. So
Netflix was okay with WBD splitting off. Paramount was okay with taking debt. That makes no logical sense. It doesn't make business sense at all. No, it doesn't make no business sense. Like, you're gonna take on more debt that you already have debt. You're gonna take on more debt, and you either don't have the money to clear WB's debt, or you don't have the money to clear your own debt. But either way, you're taking on more debt, and it's gonna make it harder for you to make that, the 30 movies a year promise.
Well, Sin Havoc, there's a flaw in what you're saying here, because October is Q4. David Ellison assured everyone that this would all be done Q3. So it can't be October, because that's Q4. And you'd have to call David Ellison a liar, or you'd have to say he's wrong if that happens, but that surely can't be it. So, but yeah, I'm just saying this Netflix, I think this goes to what we were saying. This rumor just says that Netflix still has interest and that Netflix is working behind the scenes. And again, if Paramount's allowed to do it, Netflix is allowed to do it. Okay? So I don't want to hear any bullshit, Netflix are sore losers, because Paramount, we're sore losers. So I don't want to hear it.
That literally, like you can't say Netflix is sore losers when you had David Ellison literally harassing Zaslav. And I'm the one saying harassing. I'm not saying that's what was, but from Zaslav,
he was harassing him.
Okay, yeah, there we go. Then, but from Ellison's actions, that man was harassing him. You can't call somebody who had the deal and lost it because of somebody harassing the person that was in negotiations with them. You can't call that person a sore loser and then ignore what
Paramount is doing. Yeah, exactly.
Paramount.
So, and what up, Skywalker? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me, Sin Havoc. That one's
literally calling this man, bro. He like an obsessed ex. You block her calling so much and texting so much. Now the person's emailing. Now he's showing up at your work talking about, hey, can we get some dinner later or whatever? Bruh,
yeah. Yep, exactly. So at the end of the day, this is rumor, but I think, again, when I talk about puzzle pieces, this is another piece of the puzzle. Because, again, you have all this other stuff. It lines up. It lines up with Ted Sarandon's comments. It lines up with what we've talked about previously. So I totally think this is true. And if it is, kudos to Netflix. That's what I'm going to say to that. And now this brings the big question, the whole summary. Is it over? Has Paramount won? Is it over? I'm not going to act like this is a debate. No. With everything that we discussed on this stream, there is nothing that indicates that this is over. So, no.
Not at all. Like I said, until it's signed on the dotted line and they make the handshake and everything's paid and all that, it is not a done deal.
Not a done deal at all. So there's a lot that Paramount has to go through to get this to happen, guys. Okay? There's a lot of stuff that needs to happen. So, hey, if it happens, well, hopefully it doesn't. I was going to say if it happens, great, but I don't want it to happen. But hey, if it happens for those rooting for it, good for you. But you When Netflix had one, you were reminding everyone that it's not over. It's not over. So now it's your turn to do the same thing. Okay? Like I said, I don't want to hear any hypocrisy. I don't want to hear any. If you can't be for this, but not for this. Okay? So wait, hold on. I'm trying to pull up TJ's comment here, but it's being
I disagree with
StreamYard's
you.
being
It's pulled up for me.
It's GG's. What's GG's?
Like good game. Like it's like basically it's like it's over for Hollywood if the deal goes through.
No, I'm not. I don't mean it's over for Hollywood if the deal goes through. I mean, is it over for Paramount getting Warner Brothers? That's what I'm saying. That's the over. That's the over I'm talking about. Like, no, I agree with you. I agree with you on that other part. I'm saying that it's not over with this merger because there's a lot of stuff that has to go through. And there's a lot of bad signs. And I'm just saying, with all these lawsuits, David Ellison's going to have to show up to court eventually, okay? So he's going to have to testify under oath eventually. So he's going to have to spend money.
Forget Star Trek, son. They ruined Halo. Halo was such a easy thing you could do, and they messed that up. And I'm still I know Sky is messed up over it. I'm messed up because I'm over here thinking we're gonna get Master Chief, and then you got Master Chief taking off his helmet, and then we're seeing him interact with people without his helmet. I'm just like, what is this? What are we doing? What? This isn't even Halo no more. This is just, hey, we have the title Halo, we have Master Chief, and we're just doing whatever. So it's.
I don't understand that reference. I never really watched Star Trek or Halo. I know Sin Havoc. I know Sin Havoc. I know. But yeah, it's not over, guys. I mean, it's over for Hollywood if the merger goes through, TJ. I will say that. Yeah. But it's not over for... This merger is not over. There's a lot of stuff that needs to happen. There's a lot of hurdles that Paramount has. So, U.S. government, FCC, whomever, let's block this deal. Chop, chop. Block the deal. Chop, chop. I'm not patient. Hashtag BatDan is not patient. But, only time will tell what happens. But believe me, there will be a lot to talk about, and this channel will cover it. But I have a special announcement. So, as you... Hold on, I'm trying to... Okay, I don't know why StreamYard's... Okay, here we go. As you can see, I wore a Six Flags Great America hat today. So, I will be expanding my coverage of content on the channel. Make no mistake, I am still going to cover movie talk. I am definitely going to be covering DC and Zack Snyder. There is a lot to talk about. But I want to expand my coverage into other areas of entertainment. As you guys may have saw, I brought back BatDan's Thoughts, the show BatDan's Thoughts. Not, the channel's called BatDan's Thoughts, but the show BatDan's Thoughts was brought back with an episode of me reviewing my time at Epic Universe, Universal's new theme park. And I went to Six Flags Great America over the weekend. That's my local Six Flags. And I had a really good time. And I have some thoughts. And BatDan has a lot of thoughts he wants to give on theme park related stuff. So I will be doing a lot more theme park coverage in the upcoming. It will mostly be, Six Flags Great America related because that's the park I live near. But as I do this more and more, I'll cover a lot of areas of theme park stuff. So there'll be a lot more coverage with theme park related content on this channel. And I feel like it's a great bridge with movie talk because the theme parks, their IP they use are movie related IPs. So I feel like it's a really good bridge into other areas of entertainment. So I will be discussing that on BatDan's Thoughts because BatDan has a lot of thoughts on theme parks. So I'm really excited for this new area of coverage. So check it out. And I have something I'm going to be working on very soon. So check it out. But anyway, Kozy, coming up for you, is there anything that you have coming up on your channel that you want to talk about?
Oh yeah. Okay. So, all right, everybody. I got two YouTube channels. I got the Kozy's World that y'all know, Kozy'S. WORLD. That's my reaction gaming channel. I have stuff recorded, so look out. No, go subscribe to that. Look out for my reaction to the Odyssey, Resident Evil. That's all going to the channel. Just gotta edit it and all that, but yeah. So I kind of was like, kind of took a weird break from YouTube, but I'm coming back, being consistent and posting more. I got some gaming videos I'm gonna be uploading also that I've been gaming with the homies like most nights, and I haven't recorded, just haven't had to edit them. So I'm gonna edit those, like Baldur's Gate 3, AB Addict Factor, content warning, Lethal Company, yeah, and plus more. So got that going. And pretty soon I'm gonna be doing getting my Patreon set up so I can post my reactions to movies and shows. I want to get back to watching movies and shows. I've been slacking hella these past years, so yeah. But my second channel, I will upload it. I do vlogs. I hang out with my homies here in Houston. They make music. And so I just make vlogs, me hanging out with them and them making music or performing. So I have a vlog up on KozyKam, KozyKam. It should be like a title saying like Javion Bishop at the Garden or something like that. Check that out. Go watch that. Go like the video, give that interaction to the video and subscribe to that. But that's really it. And then hopefully soon I'll go return back to streaming. So yeah, that's really it.
Can't wait. I can't wait. And guys, I will have Kozy's links in the description as soon as Kozy sends me the links to his YouTube channel. Yeah. So, and if you're watching on replay, they should be up by now. But yeah. As for me, coming up, as I just said, I'll be doing some theme park related videos soon, and of course, I will be definitely covering more of this stuff as time goes on because there'll be a lot of updates. So be on the lookout for that. This, Bat Dance Thoughts, the channel has a lot of great updates coming up. So guys, if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more unique takes, interesting thoughts, and great discussions such as these. And thank you again, Kozy, for coming on. I think we have really great discussions and can't wait for future collaborations.
Oh yeah.
And on that note, any final words?
Nah, that's it. See y'all next time, man. Hit that like button. Subscribe.
Have a bat-tastic day.